You're listening to Head On with your host, board-certified plastic surgeon, Dr. Guyuron, the pioneer of a life-changing surgery for permanently eliminating migraines and a specialist in plastic surgery of the face, head, and neck.
Well, welcome to Head On. My name is Eva Shea, and I'm actually Dr. Guyuron's podcast producer. And the team asked me to stand in and bring somebody very special on the podcast today. And her name is Lauren. And she's a past patient of Dr. Guyuron's, and her story is remarkable. Welcome to the podcast, Lauren.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
I met you last week, and I could not stop thinking about what happened to you. So will you tell us first, when did you have the migraine surgery, but then go back in time and start really at the beginning of your journey?
So I had the migraine surgery in 2019, and it was like a full-blown surgery. There was lots of incisions, but I started getting migraines when I was 10, and that was when I started puberty hit. So my mom kind of knew that I might get them because like grandmothers on both sides had them really bad, and most people in the family on both sides would get migraines. So I started getting migraines when I was 10, and then when I was 13, I got hit by a car, and it was really serious. I was on my bike, and the car hit me from the side, so I flew up onto the dashboard and the front of the car and went through the windshield. So it knocked out all the front teeth, broke the nose, broke the roof of my mouth. I mean, it was all just impacted into the head, was like where it hit. But they told me that I couldn't get permanent teeth or fix anything permanently until I was older, because they said I wasn't done growing, which obviously I wasn't. I was 13. So
You lost a bunch of teeth, so you went through high school without teeth?
I went through middle school without teeth for the rest of the 8th grade year. And I was the tallest person in my grade except for this one other guy. So like it just taught me to not care what people think. But yeah, that was bad. So people were really nice to me though. Like people at my school were really nice. But I couldn't play volleyball anymore. No gym. They just didn't want me to like move around too quickly. So we were just focusing on that for a while. But when I was a senior in high school, I started getting these. I would still get migraines off and on, but when I was a senior in high school, I started getting these headaches that were like, it was more than a migraine, but it wasn't my typical migraine. Usually when I would get them, I would get flashing lights, I would get nauseous. I'd have to be in bed for like a couple days. These were headaches that were coming like from the sides of my head, and also it could be coming from like the back as well. And it was like I could point to where it was coming from, but nobody knew what it was. Like nobody could tell me that it was like nerve damage. So my dentist thought that maybe I had TMJ because it always hurt around my ears so bad. So he helped me with that for a long time, and it would kind of come and go. So I just dealt with that for a long time, and they would prescribe muscle relaxers, like, because everybody just kept thinking it was like muscle, and it wasn't. It was the nerves were messed up. And I did notice that whenever I would have a lot of nerve pain in those headache areas, the migraines would be worse. So I noticed they were correlated, but nobody was actually telling me like what the actual problem was. And then when I was 30 is when it really, really, really got bad. And I tried everything to fix it. I tried going to a chiropractor. I tried acupuncture. I tried some kind of laser treatment. I ended up getting a couple nerve blocks done. I did a migraine infusion. And by the time all of this had happened, like the only thing left to try was like Botox. And that was the only thing. It was like nobody ever had an answer for how to solve all the pain that I was in. But that was like when it came to a head, and I couldn't go to work. I couldn't eat. Like my head just felt like somebody was squeezing it really hard all the time. And I would have like jolts of pain. And it's really scary when that's happening to you and nobody can tell you what it is. And I always had a normal neurologist. Like I think she specialized in MS, so it wasn't the type of neurologist I should have had. But you just never know. So she sent me to the infusion clinic, and I did that for like 3 days in a row, and the pain didn't go down at all.
What were they infusing?
They were trying to stop a migraine headache. That's what it was. I don't know what was in the infusion. I know I got tired, so I fell asleep when it was happening, which that was really all I wanted to do at that time was sleep because nothing else was okay. Like my marriage was going down the drain because I couldn't do anything. And he didn't know how to help me. I had to move in with my mom and dad. I couldn't drive.
Oh, wait, you were married and you moved in with your parents?
Yes. It was bad. Like I could not get out of bed. I couldn't even stand up long enough to make myself like breakfast. It was just like all I did was just lay there all day. And I would just pray every day, like, God, either don't let me wake up or please fix this pain. I have a lot of faith and I've had faith that was what got me through it was having faith because I knew God had a better plan for me than what I was going through. And they were telling me that no one can have a headache every day. That's not possible. No one's head can hurt 24 hours a day. That's not possible. And I was like, well, mine does. So it is possible. And they just said that this pain was like psychosomatic. Like I was like thinking it was worse than it actually was. They're like, well, how's your home life? How's things going at home? How's work? And I'm like, well, it sucks because my head hurts 24/7. Everything's bad. And I couldn't do anything. I could not function at all as a human.
How long were you in this state like that?
10 months.
Oh,
Yeah, it was so bad. So bad. When you go through something like that, it's not like you can just snap your fingers and you're like, "Oh, I'm better. Cool." Like mentally, like even after I had the surgery, I was like on pins and needles cuz I'm just waiting for it to come back. Like so it's very like it's just mind-boggling, like, the way that your brain starts to think when you're in pain for that long, it's just like nothing matters, nothing's funny, nothing's happy, nothing's okay. It's, like, really scary. Really, really scary.
so in this 10-month stretch where you're back living with your parents, what is your husband doing during this time? Is he like coming to visit you while you're laying in bed?
Yeah, because he was working still and stuff, so, yeah. We don't have kids, I had no pets at the time, so well, I had guinea pigs, but it wasn't like I had a puppy or anything. So, it was like, thank God for that. I mean, if I had kids, like, who would have watched them? That's why I feel so bad when people have migraines that have kids. It's like, "Oh my gosh, how do you do it?"
And then did you lose weight too during this time?
Oh, yeah, I went from because I always worked out and was always, like, really active, like to hike. I went from, like, 185 to within 10 months, the day I had surgery and they weigh you before you go in, I weighed 139. So I drastically, because I lost weight, I lost muscle, and everybody could see it, and everybody was just like, "Oh my god, like, what's going on?" Because I was just so skinny, and it happened so fast.
Did they have you on a lot of medication too?
Yeah. Within that 10-month period, I got put on well, I already took Topamax, so I was on that, and then they put me on gabapentin, and they loaded me up really fast on that. They gave me, like, 900 milligrams 3 times a day. So it was like when I stood up, when you're not eating and you're taking that much gabapentin, you stand up, you're like, "Whoa," like, you can't even, like, hardly move. And then they had me on rizatriptan, naratriptan. I had, like, a nasal spray that would, like, make your head kind of numb, but, I mean, it didn't matter, nothing worked, so of course, I have anxiety because I've dealt with this, like, my whole life, and it's always, like, on every major event I ever did, like, going to state board to get my cosmetology license, like, full-blown anxiety because it's like, "Can I function? Will I be able to function, or will I have such a bad headache that I can't function?" When you have migraines, everything you do, you worry about having a migraine. You're just like, "Oh my gosh, will I be okay? Can I get through this? Can I do this?" So it's like, I've always had anxiety, and I've contributed that. I mean, I think part of it's genetic and part of it is obviously dealing with pain. So, I mean, I was on Zoloft as well. I'll always be on Zoloft.
So when you're in this state for this almost a year, what kinds of things could you get out of bed for, or did you force yourself to get out of bed for?
So I own a salon with another girl, and I've owned it for like almost 10 years now. Her name's Kelly, is the other owner, and she knew I always got headaches, and like probably, I don't know, probably like once a month I would have to call people to reschedule all their appointments for the day. But like I said, when I turned 30, it was like basically every other day Kelly was calling people to reschedule them. And you can't really work like that. Like when you reschedule somebody and then you get sick again that next time, and then you have to reschedule them again. And then you're like, oh, I'm still sick. I have to reschedule you again. Like people get pissed, obviously. So I would try to get to work for like 4 hours a day. My mom would drive me there because I couldn't drive. And like I said, the balance issues were like really bad. But I don't know, somehow the salon still existed. Like Kelly was able to keep it together, and there was a couple other girls that worked there too. But that was pretty much the only thing I got out of bed for.
And you're still having to stand and do hair for 4 hours when you are there. So you're just struggling.
And my clients would see me and they would just be like, whoa, like you're really thin. What's going on? And it's like, you have to keep talking about it. And it's like, you don't want to keep talking about it.
How did you finally get out of this?
So a girl who I was cutting her hair, I'd been cutting her hair for a while. Her name was Ashley. She saw what I was going through and she was like, I have a doctor's name that you should go check out because he works with people that have headaches. And his name's Dr. Guyuron. And I was like, okay, like I have nothing to lose at this point. Like she said he was a plastic surgeon. And I was like, that's weird. And I was like, okay, so we scheduled a consultation. We went to go see him and he got me in pretty fast. Like I think he got me with like a couple weeks of scheduling the consultation. Where like with a regular neurologist, it's gonna take you like 6 months probably to get in as a new patient, like even just to talk to someone. And Dr. Guyuron's staff is really nice. Like all the people that work there are very like compassionate, they're sweet. So he comes in the room and like within about 5 minutes of talking to him, he said he knew what the problem was. And I was just like, yeah, okay, whatever. Like I could point to where the pain was coming from, like exactly point to where it was coming from. So he gave me these like little mini nerve blocks. I guess it was like lidocaine or something. And he injected it in the spots that were hurting. And he's like, all right, we're going to wait like 5 minutes. Oh, and he listens to your head, which is totally different than what anyone else has ever done.
How does he do that?
He uses an ultrasound and it's like almost like a pen and it's an ultrasound thing. And the spots that I pointed to, he was like, okay, if we could hear your heart beating in these spots, then we can, we need to hear that to be able to. So like he put the pen on there and he kind of like, was like wiggling it around and stuff. And then like slowly you can start hearing your heartbeat. And he's like, okay, mark this spot. And then it was like, what was weird is every spot was exactly parallel on both sides. And then so the first meeting that we had, there was like 6 spots. So he marked all the spots. And then he did the lidocaine. And within like, I don't know, within like a couple minutes, my pain level started going down and it was lower than it had been in like 10 months. And I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, he understands what I'm saying. Like he knows what I'm saying. So he came back in the room and I was like, he's like, do you feel better? What, like the pain level was from like a 9 to like a 4. That's like, I remember that's what it went. And I was so happy that he understood what I was saying. So we scheduled surgery. And then before we did the surgery, I was like, okay, I found another spot in the back of my head. Now that those had like settled down, I could tell another spot in the back of my head there's another spot. So, and it was like right in the center of the nape of my neck. And he listened to it again and he couldn't find that spot at first. And then he was like, are you sure it's back here? I'm like, yeah, I can point to it. And so he listened again for a little bit more and you could start to hear the heartbeat. And he was like, okay, let's mark it. So, and that was like the big incision. That was the big one up the back of the neck. And so basically he was like rerouting the whole roadmap of like my entire head. So like we knew it was going to be a big deal. I think for most people, it's like 1 or 2 incisions and like they can get back to work like relatively quickly. But for me, they said I would be having like surgical pain probably for like 3 weeks. And I was having trouble getting up for like 3 weeks after the surgery just to like stand and have energy to like do anything. But I knew as soon as I woke up from the surgery or laying in the bed, like in the recovery room, and I could tell that that pain, granted my whole head was numb at this point, but like the pain that was so bad, like I didn't feel that pain. So I knew as soon as I woke up from surgery that something was already different, but it took about I felt like my recovery was hard just because there was so many incisions and like I had a drainage tube like in the back of my head because he had to like remove so much stuff that it leaves like a pocket, like a gap. So the drainage tube is there to get rid of all that excess fluid in that gap. And then your head will obviously heal back and be nice and flat back there again. But I swear I felt like I had after the surgery there was like a knot back there, like swollen. They said that that would go down, like, relatively quickly, but I swear I had that for, like, over a year, just like that, like, swollen, like, not feeling.
Can you still find the spots in your head?
No, I can feel the scars, but I but I don't have that type of pain anymore, and I haven't had a migraine since I had the surgery, where it's, like, the flashing lights and, like I mean, I've had headaches, especially when I'm on my period, but it's not like, I can still go to work, and it passes. It's not like a 24-hour-a-day thing.
You still live with your mom?
No. Thank God. No. So I wanna say maybe, like, 6 months after the surgery had been over was when things, like, really started to go back to, like, a normal life. Because I was still such a train wreck from, like, being scared that the pain would come back. Like, I was calling his office all the time and asking if the things were normal because I didn't know what to expect because my head was like totally numb and it almost felt like you had this like weird huge hard helmet on your head. It was a very 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 just really weird feeling. And I mean it hurt because the nerves grow back. So when my head started to wake up and it wasn't like numb anymore, you feel, like, flashes of, like, pain, like a quick flash of pain, like jolts, like burning, almost felt like bee stings, but then the nerves became, like it felt hot and tight and sore, was how it felt, and I was like, that was 6 months after the surgery, I was like, "I'm having problems with the way this is healing," and so he did stem cell injections. He's, like, took fat from my stomach and put it literally into my head. And honestly, it was, like, almost, like, right away, it felt better. It wasn't like that hot, sore, tight feeling anymore. It was, like it felt better, but, I mean, when you have a surgery that big, they couldn't give me a day, like, they won't be like, "On this day, you're gonna feel amazing, and you'll be going back to work," or, like, whatever, like, that's not how it worked. It's just time.
Mhm.
Just time. I stayed on the gabapentin, and I think that that does help a lot with, like, with the recovery of the surgery. I'm still on that, and I've tried to get off of it before, and it didn't work because it's, like, now I have all these baby nerves. Even though the surgery has been, like, over almost 5 years ago, I still have, like spots on my head are still numb, and then, like, I'll feel it start to burn real hard, and then it's like, the nerves are growing back right there. So and that can be frustrating. I mean, it's just an annoying feeling, you don't wanna deal with it, but it's not like having a migraine.
I'm sure it's really annoying, but also, like, how amazing is the human body?
I know, it's so weird because you don't know when I just thought even, like, 2 years ago, I'm like, "Okay, well, I guess the sides of my head are just gonna be numb, like, forever," because they had never regained feeling on the sides. And then, like, one day, they just started firing up, and I was like, "Oh my gosh." I was like, "They're not gonna be numb forever." And it just hurts when the nerves grow back. It's just really uncomfortable.
Have they told you if that'll eventually just go away once they're all back?
Well, they said that it could, but they told me, like, once you're a year out from surgery, that's usually where you'll be. Like, that's where you're gonna stay, and that's not what's happened with me. It's even now, like, still the sides of my head the sides behind the ears is I can tell like something's going on there right now because it's like it'll get really, really hot and like my ears will turn purple.
Your ears turn purple?
Yes, where it's burnt, and that's weird to me. It's like you can literally feel the heat of those nerves coming through your skin. It's really weird. It's really weird. And the fact that my skin will change color while it's happening is like, whoa. It's hot, hot, hot. So I just put a gel pack on it and just like a cold pack. And it passes, but sometimes it'll last for like a week and then it'll be like totally fine. I won't have any pain for like a week. And then it could fire back up and then I'll be like, fine. It's really weird. It's actually better to be busy when that is happening because if you're not busy, then you're like focusing on it more. But since I had the surgery, I haven't called off once because I have a headache.
What was the first day back at work like? Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember I had the first lady I had, her name was Gloria, and she was like, oh my gosh, I've been waiting so long for you. And I was just like, let's hope I can make it through this. Like, it was good. I was in a much better mood once I got back to work than I was not working.
Do you have any regrets about the time between when this started and when you got finally to Dr. Guyuron?
I regret that I didn't just go to him first. I regret that I went through different doctors, different neurologists through them for like a while because I had Dr. Guyuron's number and I had actually made an appointment with him. And then the clinic was like, oh, well, we can do a nerve block. That will help. And so I canceled the appointment I had with Dr. Guyuron because I'm like, okay, I'm going to do a nerve block, so I'll cancel this. And then it was just like maybe like 6 more months or whatever, 9 more months of just getting jerked around through different doctors. And my only regret is I didn't go to Dr. Guyuron sooner. Dr. Guyuron was the first person in all the years of my life that actually listened to me and was like, yeah, you have a nerve problem. And I was just like, well, what is it called? And he's like, the surgery is called migraine surgery. He's like, your situation is complicated and it's rare. And he's like, I think I can fix it. He told me also that if it doesn't work the first time, he's like, I will go back in and I will fix it. We'll have plan B. And he's like, and then we'll have plan C. So it was kind of like I was just like under his wing and I just felt like so comforted.
And how many miles away from you was Dr. Guyuron this entire time?
Oh my gosh, I'm so blessed. I know that like God intervened in all of this because he made sure that I lived close to this man. Mm-hmm. Some people live like, I don't know.
Around the world.
Right. Yeah. Like some people live thousands of miles away from him just to get to him. And I live in North Olmsted, Ohio, and his thing is in Lyndhurst, Ohio. So basically it's like west side to the east side. And
half an hour.
I don't know. It's like, yeah, it's like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I live 30 minutes away from this man. So like I was able to have surgery and then go home. Mm-hmm. And then when I had to come back and see him again the next day just to check up and stuff, like, it was easy. He's only a half hour away.
How is your life different now, 5 years later?
It's so different than it was. Like, I was able to get a puppy. I'm able to take care of this puppy. The salon is thriving now. Now it's just me and Kelly that work there, and it's doing better than ever. But everything is different. Like, you don't have to worry about, like, can I do this? Or, like, can I get through that? Or can I say yes to this activity? I don't know. It's basically like you're not afraid to live your life, basically. Where before, when you have all these headaches, you're just like, oh my gosh, I can't commit. Oh my gosh, I don't know. Oh my gosh, I don't know. Like,
your life revolves around whether or not you're going to have a headache?
Yes, that was how it was my whole life. So
even your wedding day, did you have one on your wedding day?
I did not have a headache on my wedding day, but I remember that morning taking a migraine pill just in case I would get a headache. I would eat those pills like candy just because I'm like, well, maybe this will help prevent one. And like, sometimes it did and sometimes it didn't.
You mentioned your dentist way back in the beginning of our conversation. And I know he was a great support to you from the time you were really young.
Yes. And I love that man. He's in North Royalton, Ohio. But yeah, he was compassionate and he really wanted me to feel better. But surgery was inevitable. Thank God for Dr. Guyuron, because honestly, I don't think I would even be alive still if he hadn't fixed what was wrong with me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I didn't want to be alive. And like my eyes would hurt. It was like everything just hurt so bad. And it was just like torture having to just like be awake.
It's probably so hard to look back on it and wish you had done it sooner or differently. And when you tell the story in reverse, it's almost obvious that it was nerves.
Yes. I feel like, why did nobody say, oh, you might have nerve damage, or like, oh, like your nerves are messed up in your head? And my dentist was actually the one that was like, I've done all I can do. I don't think I can fix this problem for you anymore. And he was like, I've done all I can do. He's like, I don't know what else to tell you. And also, I went to a acupuncturist. He's in Berea, Ohio, where my salon is. And he also said, your doctors are telling you that you have a problem, like, and it's coming from your head and your jaw. And he goes, but they don't really know that that's what's happening. He said, that's what they're telling you. He's like, but it could be something else. And I also went to a doctor. I had a consultation with a doctor in Cleveland, and she specialized in trigeminal neuralgia. So that's like this part of the face where it's hurting, and it's nerve pain. It would be horrible to have that in your face too. And she said, okay, you don't have trigeminal neuralgia, but you have some kind of neuralgia. She's like, but I don't know how to fix this. And she was going to put a wire in my head to like stimulate the nerves or like make them do something different. So that was like another option I had. But I was like, I don't know. I don't think that's going to work. Like, I just didn't like the way that sounded.
She was honest about not being sure, though. She was saying, you could try this.
Yeah, she was honest. When I met Dr. Guyuron, I told him about that. I said, well, what do you think about this? And he said, whether you have this migraine surgery with me or not, or whether you have it with someone else, whoever you have it with, he said, do not put that in your head. He said, it will not make you feel any better. He said, I can guarantee you that right now. And he was being honest too. Like, he's not just trying to get people to have surgery to make money. Like, he legitimately wants people to feel better.
Yeah.
So that was when I knew. I was like, all right, let's do surgery. Like, for sure.
I think he's on a mission, and I think your story is part of that mission. And I'm really, really grateful to you for being so open about it and sharing it with us.
Yeah, thank you. If this podcast and what you're doing helps even just one person, it's worth doing.
I know.
I mean,
I agree.
People need to know about what is out there. They don't have to deal with pain constantly. And even if the surgery, you feel like it's not good enough the first time or whatever, like, he won't give up on you. Like, he will help you.
Mm-hmm. Well said.
Links to learn more about Dr. Guyuron and anything else mentioned on this podcast are available in the show notes. Head On is a production of The Axis, THEAXIS.io.